Yo, it's Market Scraper. So 2020 has been one of the most incredible years in the stock market. We saw one of the most quickest drops, followed by one of the most quickest recoveries. And I wanted to reflect about one of the biggest losers in my portfolio and talk about what are some of the lessons to learn from the loser in my portfolio as well. Well, let's get into this. And keep in mind that none of this is financial advice. This is just some random guy on YouTube drawing some stick figure lines on a chart talking to you guys. But before we get into this video, if you get any value from this content, don't forget to put a smash down on that like button. It really helps support this content. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button for more content like this. Okay, let's get into this. And there are flip sides to every coin. And the next thing I'll talk about is what happened with American Airlines. And when I sold my American Airlines stock, I posted it on Twitter. And when I sometimes do some buys, do some sells, I will post it in real time on Twitter. So if you're interested in those type of moves that I make, definitely check me out on Twitter. So American Airlines, what happened with American Airlines? And what are some lessons that I can learn from this? So we were at a price of over $30 a share, and we crashed down very significantly to under $10 a share. That's pretty incredible. But what has the recovery been so far? Basically, we are at around roughly half the price of the peak over here. This is an interesting thing to be aware of. And I don't exactly remember why I chose American Airlines stock opposed to other stocks in the stock market. It probably was because of the value that I was seeing in this stock. This was just on a steady decline. And I was thinking to be a value investor and think, okay, this looks like the most value of the bunch of these airlines. So I'm going to invest in this stock here. This way of thinking definitely is a little bit flawed. It can be a good way of thinking. It can work out very well for you. There are scenarios that it can. But let's look at the evidence on hand right now and compare it to some other stocks. And this is an interesting insight and something that I'm continuously learning throughout my investing career so far. If we look at some of the airlines that have the best balance sheet and are considered the best of the best, for example, like Southwest Airlines, for example, we look at the highs here. We were basically at $58, and right now we are at $46. This is not nearly a 50% decline. We did have a super significant pullback here, all the way down to $24. This was very significant. But from where we are right now, if we just bought and held, this is nowhere near the decline that we've seen with American Airlines. You can see that we're at $30 here, and we're at $16. This is almost a 50% decline, almost. And we're over here, this is not nearly anywhere in that remote area. We'd be seeing prices of closer to $30 a share, and yet we're at $46 a share. So this speaks to the idea that buying the best of breed stock, always wins out generally. You could definitely find that scenario of picking the runt of the stocks that you think will recover the most. But generally speaking, in my opinion, and from my research and from what I've seen historically and in these scenarios as well, I'm going to show more scenarios right now as well. But picking the best of the best in general, in the long term, is going to be the best choice, even though you think that there are some that might catch up. But generally speaking, if you're picking the best of the best, and you think the best of the best will continue to be the best, because if you think that there is a runner-up that can eventually take out the best of the best, that best of the best really isn't the best of the best. So we're talking about more of an undisputed best of the best, and we don't see it being toppled over by a competitor anytime soon. And let's look at a few examples, because this is really interesting. If we look at Wells Fargo, for example, here, this stock here is kind of a similar situation as American Airlines. Let's just pretend it's in the banking space, but we have this stock that was continuously on decline for quite some time, and this was a value play right here at $50 or so. So if you bought into this stock here, though, you would have had a massive drop. It dropped so massively, and where is it now in terms of where it was before the crash? Again, we're looking at these $53 prices, and the stock right now is around $30. This is a massive drop, and it hasn't recovered anywhere close to where it was before. This is really interesting, and can it recover from here? Is very possible, but the main point here, if you look at something like Chase, JP Morgan Chase, you can see that the peak over here, we're talking about 137, 139, if we're being very generous here, and where is it at right now? It's at 125. It crashed a lot, and it has recovered a lot as well. We're not nearly down as much as Wells Fargo is currently down from being at 53 to 30. This just speaks again to the idea, like American Airlines. If I picked something like Southwest Airlines instead, I knew it had the better balance sheet. It also has a dividend, and picking that stock would have weathered the storm better and held up its price better than American Airlines. Same thing with JP Morgan Chase. If you choose the best stock out there in the space and don't choose something like a Wells Fargo, this will keep up its price in the long term. And I know that a lot of folks like Wells Fargo a lot. And maybe from here on out, it does outperform Chase. Maybe. But the main point here is that if we were back here, which stock would have been the best play to make? It would have hand downs been Chase. So you see the power of the best of breed, the best of the best in the space, and picking that, what it means of surviving a downturn and the recovery and what it means for your capital. Well, I'm going to end this right here. I hope you guys got some value from this content, and if you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe to this channel for more content like this, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. If you want to support this channel and get an amazing brokerage, here's my referral link to Etrade. I also included in the description down below, and Etrade is just an amazing brokerage. I definitely like Robinhood as well, but Etrade is definitely something I feel more comfortable with promoting for newer investors and for experienced investors. It's just a solid platform with a lot of resources. I'm really into Robinhood as well myself, but I know that it's easy to not be as disciplined with Robinhood, so I feel like you gain your discipline with Etrade, with that platform, and then go into Robinhood and knock yourself out.